Hey there, my friend. I'm so glad you found your way back here tonight. As you lie in the quiet dark, imagine a kingdom that once ruled the land of the pharaohs, a place where pyramids rise like gentle shadows against a desert sky. That's where we're traveling now, to the ancient realm of Kush. So go ahead, settle in, let your head sink into the pillow, feel the day's weight slip from your shoulders. Take a slow, deep breath, and as you exhale, let your whole body soften. Now let's begin. Tonight, I'll share with you the story of the Kingdom of Kush, the Black Pharaohs of Nubia, one fascinating fact at a time. There's no need to remember anything, just let the words wash over you like a warm breeze. And if you drift off to sleep somewhere along the way, that's perfectly fine. That's exactly what this is for. If nights like these help you unwind, subscribe and I'll be here whenever you need me. Now, let's step quietly into the past. The Kushite kings once rose to a position of great prestige, ruling over all of Egypt as the 25th dynasty. Picture these Black Pharaohs, their skin gleaming like polished ebony, ascending the ancient throne not as conquerors but as restorers of a sacred order. They looked upon the Nile Valley and saw a land that had drifted from its spiritual roots, so they brought a peaceful reunification, weaving the two great lands back together with threads of tradition and reverence. Under their care, old temples were rebuilt, forgotten rituals were revived, and the river itself seemed to hum with a renewed sense of purpose. It was a time of gentle renewal, a quiet golden age where the wisdom of the south flowed northward like the current itself. In the heart of Nubia, the city of Meroë became a flourishing center of ironworking and art. Imagine standing on a low hill at dusk, watching the soft, hazy smoke from countless furnaces rise and mingle with the warm, amber light. The air would have carried the rhythmic clink of hammers and the earthy scent of smelted ore as skilled craftsmen shaped glowing metal into tools and delicate jewelry. These objects, born from fire and patience, traveled across the vast, sun-warmed sands of Africa, carried by caravans that moved like slow, silent rivers of camels and traders. Meroë was a place where creativity and industry breathed together, leaving behind a legacy of beauty forged in iron and gold. The Kushites built a landscape of slender, steep-sided pyramids that differ softly from those in Giza. These are not the massive, broad-based monuments you might first picture, but rather elegant, tapering forms that rise like quiet, pointed sentinels from the desert floor. There are more pyramids in the region of Sudan than in all of Egypt, a fact that often surprises the dreaming mind. They stand in clusters, their shadows stretching long in the fading light, guarding the resting places of royalty with a silent, enduring grace. Each one is a whisper of a life once lived, a stone prayer for eternity, and together they create a skyline of gentle, ancient geometry. A unique and melodic script known as Meroitic was developed by the people of Kush to record their history. Scholars can read the sounds of the letters, tracing the curves and lines with careful fingers, but the full meaning of the words remains a drifting mystery. It's as if the language itself is a soft, half-remembered song, its verses floating just beyond our grasp, whispering secrets from a lost era. Imagine a library of inscriptions on temple walls and stelae, each one a locked door to stories of love, war, and daily life. The Meroitic script invites us to listen closely, to lean in with curiosity, even as it gently reminds us that some knowledge is meant to rest in peaceful silence. The Kandakes, or Queen Mothers, held immense power and spiritual authority within the kingdom. These formidable women often ruled in their own right, their presence as steady and guiding as a lantern in the night. Picture a Kandake standing on the banks of the Nile, her robes catching the breeze, her gaze fixed on the horizon with a calm, unshakable resolve. She commanded armies, directed trade, and performed sacred rites, earning a respect that rippled across the ancient world. In a land where the river gave life, these queen mothers were its human counterpart, nurturing and protecting their people with a strength that was both fierce and deeply maternal. Their legacy is a quiet testament to the power of a steady, guiding hand. Imagine a lone mountain rising from the flat desert, its flat top catching the first light of dawn like a silent altar. The people of Kush believed that the god Amun dwelled within this very peak, a silent and eternal presence that watched over the land. Pilgrims would journey for days across sun-baked earth, their footsteps a quiet prayer drawn by a call to this holy place. They sought not grand ceremonies, but a profound stillness, a sense of being held in the palm of something ancient and serene. The mountain itself seemed to breathe with a slow, sacred rhythm, offering a peace that settled deep into the bones, a quiet refuge from the world. Picture the Nubian archers, standing tall and still against the horizon, their bows an extension of their own breath. They were called the people of the bow, and their skill was not one of force, but of a quiet, focused grace. An arrow released from their fingers seemed to float on the air, guided by a gentle intention rather than brute strength. This mastery was a soft shield around their lands, a promise of safety whispered on the wind. It was a craft that protected not just borders, but a way of life, ensuring that the rhythms of their world remained undisturbed and serene. Their legend spread far and wide, a testament to the power of precision and calm. Envision the great river, a liquid highway carrying the soul of a kingdom. Upon its gentle currents floated the treasures of Kush, incense that carried the scent of sacred groves, gold that glittered like captured sunlight, and ebony as dark and deep as a moonless night. These gifts moved slowly, deliberately, on barges that seemed to drift in a dream. They connected the pulsing heart of Africa to a distant, shimmering Mediterranean world, a quiet exchange of wonder that rippled across continents. The river itself became a storyteller, whispering tales of a rich and generous land to all who would listen. This trade was a slow, steady heartbeat, linking cultures in a web of shared beauty. The very walls of their world were born from the earth and the sun. Builders used sun-dried mud bricks and warm sandstone, materials that held the memory of gentle heat. As the fierce afternoon sun beat down, these walls absorbed the golden light, transforming it into a soft, protective embrace. Step inside a palace, and you would find a sanctuary of cool, dim stillness, a quiet contrast to the blaze outside. It was an architecture of comfort, where the harshness of the desert was softened into a peaceful, shaded haven. The play of light and shadow within these rooms was a gentle lullaby, inviting rest and reflection. Life itself was a gentle dance with the river's pulse. Each year, the Nile would swell and recede, leaving behind a blanket of dark, fertile silt as soft as velvet. From this rich earth, life would spring forth in quiet celebration. Emerald green fields of grain and lush gardens that seemed to glow against the amber backdrop of the desert. It was a harmonious rhythm, a silent agreement between the... In the 8th century before the Common Era, a line of rulers emerged from the land of Kush who would come to be known as the Black Pharaohs, sovereigns of the 25th dynasty who stretched their gentle authority over the entire Nile Valley. They did not come as conquerors with fire and fury, but rather as guardians of a fading light, restoring temples and reviving ancient rites that had been forgotten in the north. Imagine the soft chiseling of stone as artisans blended the elegant forms of Egyptian gods with the distinct, powerful features of Kushite kings, creating a unified artistic vision. This was a golden age of cultural harmony, a quiet century where the wisdom of the south cradled the grandeur of Egypt, and the two lands breathed as one under a shared sky. Further south, deep in the heart of the Nubian desert where the sun bakes the earth to a deep ochre, the royal city of Meroë rose like a mirage made real here. Against a canvas of drifting sand and endless horizon, the Kushites built their own fields of pyramids, not as colossal as those of Giza, but steeper, more slender, as if straining on tiptoe to whisper secrets to the stars. Picture the city at dusk, the air cooling as the last light catches the tips of these sandstone sentinels, while below, the furnaces of ironworkers glow with a fierce orange heartbeat. Meroë was a center of innovation where the mastery of metal flowed like a molten river, and the quiet desert night was filled with the soft, rhythmic clinking of a civilization at its peak. Amidst this flourishing, the Kushites nurtured a profound act of intellectual independence by crafting their very own script, a graceful alphabet we now call Meroitic. They moved away from the complex hieroglyphs of their northern neighbors and developed a simpler, cursive flow of 23 signs, a script that danced across temple walls and papyrus with a unique, local rhythm. You can almost see a scribe dipping a reed pen into dark ink, carefully forming characters that recorded the names of gods, the deeds of rulers, and the details of daily life. Yet a gentle mystery lingers here, for while we can read the letters, the language itself remains largely silent, a beautiful, unbroken code that holds the thoughts of a proud people just beyond our grasp. Like a melody we can see but not quite hear. And guiding this proud people were not just kings, but formidable queens known as Kandakes or Queen Mothers, who wielded power with a quiet, formidable strength. These women were not mere consorts. They were sovereigns, spiritual leaders, and military strategists who negotiated treaties and commanded armies with a calm, unwavering gaze. Picture a Kandake in a softly lit council chamber, her voice a low, steady hum that carried the weight of wisdom, her presence a still point around which the kingdom's affairs turned. They were revered as living goddesses, their authority woven into the very fabric of Kushite society, leading their people not with a shout, but with the profound, enduring power of quiet strength and sacred duty. Through the heart of this kingdom flowed the great Nile, a shimmering ribbon of silver that served as both a lifeline and a highway, connecting the Kushite realm to the distant, bustling ports of the Mediterranean. Imagine the river at dawn, its surface a mirror for the soft pastel sky, as elegant feluccas laden with treasure begin their graceful journey northward. Their holds were filled with the warm gleam of gold, the creamy white of elephant tusks, and the heady, sacred scent of frankincense and myrrh. This was a peaceful exchange, a gentle drift of commerce where goods and ideas flowed as smoothly as the current, stitching together distant lands in a quiet tapestry of mutual prosperity and cultural connection. Let your mind drift now, back across the sands of time, to a kingdom where the sun beat down upon ancient stone. The architects of Kush built magnificent temples dedicated to Amun, their walls rising from the desert floor like a silent prayer. Imagine walking through a sprawling courtyard, the air heavy with the scent of warm stone and incense, as you step from the brilliant sunlight into a cool, shadowed sanctuary. These were spaces designed not just for worship, but to evoke a profound sense of peace, a feeling of being held in the quiet heart of eternity. And what wealth lay within that sacred heart? The land of Nubia was a treasure chest of gold, its earth threaded with veins of shimmering ore. The Kushite miners worked with careful precision to extract this metal of the gods, a substance they believed was the very flesh of the sun. Picture the silent, royal tombs, deep within the pyramids, where the pharaohs lay in state. The walls and funerary goods, glowing with a soft, eternal luster, were not just displays of power, but a promise of light and warmth in the long, quiet journey of the afterlife. The pyramids themselves, those enduring symbols of Kushite ambition, have a unique and elegant character. Unlike their more famous northern cousins, the pyramids of Nubia rise with a steeper, more dramatic pitch, creating a cluster of sharp, delicate silhouettes against the horizon. As the sun dips low and the sky bleeds into shades of deep orange and violet, these ancient forms stand in stark, beautiful contrast. They look like a gathering of silent sentinels, their pointed peaks designed to guide the souls of the departed softly upward, a gentle ramp into the star-dusted heavens. This deep connection to the divine was woven into the very fabric of their world, a world where the boundary between the physical and the spiritual was beautifully blurred. The people of Kush held a profound reverence for the lion god Apetamak, a powerful deity who embodied both the fierce protection and the serene, watchful stillness of the wild. Imagine a temple where the air is thick with the scent of acacia, and the carved images of the lion god stand guard, not with a roar, but with a quiet, unyielding strength. He was the spirit of the untamed landscapes, a reminder of the silent power that resides in the natural world. This spiritual bond extended to the very land itself, a ribbon of life carved through the desert. The Kingdom of Nubia was a land of breathtaking contrasts, where the endless, rolling sea of golden sand met the lush, vibrant green of the Nile's banks. Here, the only sound might be the wind, a soft whisper rustling through the tall papyrus reeds and the leaves of the dome palms. The entire rhythm of existence, the planting and the harvest, the celebrations and the quiet times, moved in a slow, graceful dance with the river's annual flood, a gentle, life-giving pulse that sustained the world. If you're still here, drifting along the river of these ancient stories with me, that's a lovely thing. We're just floating through the quiet moments of a lost kingdom. If this gentle journey is bringing you a sense of calm, a like is a quiet way to help other restless minds find this place of rest. Imagine the ancient Nile Valley, a ribbon of life winding through the desert. In a time long past, a dynasty of rulers known as the Black Pharaohs emerged from the land of Kush. They came from the city of Napata, carrying a vision of unity and renewal. These pharaohs saw themselves not as foreign conquerors, but as the true protectors of a sacred and timeless tradition. They walked among the crumbling temples and felt a deep calling to restore what had been lost. With gentle hands, they repaired the weathered stones, rekindled the ancient rituals, and revived the art of building pyramids. It was a peaceful renaissance, a quiet golden age where the old ways bloomed again, like a lotus opening its petals to the morning sun. Under their care, the Nile Valley became a garden of memory and hope, a place where the past and present flowed together like the river itself. Far to the south, the city of Meroë shimmered in the twilight. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the iron furnaces began to glow, casting a soft, warm light across the land. The air was filled with the gentle rhythm of bellows and the faint scent of smoldering charcoal. The Kushites had become masters of metal, and their skill was legendary. They shaped iron into delicate jewelry that seemed to capture the very starlight, and they forged strong tools that tilled the earth and built their homes. This mastery made Meroë a prosperous hub, a crossroads where caravans arrived from distant lands, bringing silk, spices, and stories. The city hummed with a quiet energy, a place where craftsmanship and beauty were woven into the fabric of daily life. In this land of innovation, the people of Kush also gave birth to their own written language, a script known as Meroitic. It was a beautiful system of elegant symbols, each one flowing into the next like reeds swaying in a gentle breeze. The script evolved from the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, but it took on a life of its own, becoming something uniquely Kushite. Today, scholars can read some of the words, but much of the language remains a quiet mystery. The inscriptions stand silent on temple walls and stone stelae, their meanings half remembered, like fragments of a dream upon waking. The desert wind whispers through the ruins, carrying secrets that no one can fully understand, and so the Meroitic script drifts through time, a beautiful enigma etched in stone. The Kingdom of Kush was often guided by the steady hand of the Kandakes, the queen mothers. These were not mere consorts to kings, but sovereign rulers in their own right, wielding immense power and authority. With wisdom as deep as the Nile and grace as gentle as the desert breeze, they led their people through seasons of peace and challenge. The Kandakes ensured the stability of the royal line, nurturing the kingdom like a mother nurtures her child. Their presence was a steady heartbeat, a calming force that wove the fabric of society together, generation after generation. In their care, the people of Kush found strength and continuity, a legacy of feminine power that shone softly but brightly across the ages. And now, in the quiet plains of Meroë, the legacy of Kush reaches toward the heavens. Here, there are more pyramids than in all of Egypt, though they are smaller and steeper, like slender fingers pointing to the stars. These stone monuments rise from the golden earth, their sharp angles softened by the gentle touch of time. They stand in silent rows, housing the dreams and legacies of the Kushite kings. Under the vast starlit sky, each pyramid is a whisper from the past, a quiet reminder of a civilization that once flourished along the Nile. The night wraps around them like a velvet cloak, and the desert holds them in an eternal embrace. They are not just tombs, but beacons of memory, reaching upward into the infinite, where the dreams of kings mingle with the constellations. In the ancient kingdom of Kush, there was a deep and quiet bond with the god Amun. It was said that Amun dwelled upon the sacred mountain of Jebel Barkal. Pilgrims would journey from far away, their footsteps slow and steady, to stand in the shadow of those towering cliffs. There, a profound sense of peace would settle over them, as if the mountain itself was breathing a gentle blessing. The air was still, and the heart grew calm, wrapped in the silent presence of the divine. Time seemed to slow, and the world faded into a soft golden haze. The mountain stood like a silent guardian, its peak touching the heavens, and in that sacred space, the pilgrims found a stillness that echoed deep within their souls. Along the gentle currents of the Nile, Trade flowed like a quiet dream. The Kingdom of Kush sent forth its treasures, precious gold that gleamed softly, fragrant incense that rose like whispered prayers, and dark, polished ebony. These goods traveled in slow-moving caravans, their camels swaying rhythmically across the sands. The caravans moved like a gentle river of their own, a procession of shadows and light. A golden thread of commerce wove distant civilizations together, connecting the heart of Africa to the Mediterranean world. Each journey was a meditation, a slow exchange of beauty and wealth under the vast starry sky. And as the sun set, the gold seemed to glow from within, carrying the warmth of the Kushite heart to distant shores. The incense smoke curled upward, carrying prayers to the sky, and the ebony, dark as night, held the memory of ancient forests. The palaces of Kush were built for serenity. Wide, airy courtyards opened to the sky, and still reflecting pools mirrored the soft blue of the African heavens. These spaces were designed for quiet reflection, where one could sit and feel the cool river breeze as evening fell. The water caught the fading light, and the world seemed to pause, holding its breath in the gentle hush of twilight. In the courtyards, the only sound was the soft murmur of water and the distant call of birds. The day's heat dissolved into the coolness, and the mind drifted like a leaf on a pond. The architecture itself was a lullaby, inviting the soul to rest. The reflecting pools held the sky, and in their stillness, one could see the clouds drift by. It was a place where time lost its meaning, and the soul could simply be. The rhythm of the Nile set the pace for life. Each year, the river would rise and flood, leaving behind a layer of rich, dark silt. Farmers would drift through the fertile fields, their hands gently scattering seeds of sorghum and wheat. It was a timeless cycle of growth and renewal, a slow dance with the earth. The sun warmed the soil, and the river whispered its promise of abundance. The farmers moved with the land, their lives woven into the fabric of the river's breath. Each seed was a hope, each harvest a quiet celebration. There was no hurry, only the steady turning of the seasons. The silt was like a dark blanket, nurturing the seeds with ancient care. And as the crops grew, they swayed in the breeze, a sea of green under the golden sun. The landscape of ancient Nubia was dotted with lush groves of date palms and acacia trees. Their branches offered warm, dappled shade to weary travelers. These green oases were peaceful sanctuaries amidst the golden, undulating dunes of the Sahara. Here, one could rest and listen to the rustle of leaves, a soft sound in the vast silence. The air was fragrant with dates, and the acacia leaves whispered ancient secrets. The shade was a gentle embrace, a reminder that life persists in the most unexpected places. In the heart of the desert, these oases were like dreams made real. The desert and the grove existed together, like a quiet breath held in the heat of the day. Travelers would pause here, their journey forgotten for a moment, as they drank in the coolness. The palms stood like sentinels, their fronds whispering of water hidden deep below. Let us drift now into the golden light of an ancient kingdom, a place where the Nile flows like a ribbon of life through the desert. Imagine a time when the rulers of Kush, a land of deep beauty and power, traveled north not with swords of conquest, but with a vision of unity. They became the Black Pharaohs, guardians of both Nubia and Egypt, believing themselves to be the true protectors of sacred traditions. They restored crumbling temples and revived forgotten customs, their reign a gentle hand bringing peace to a divided land. It was a quiet golden era, a dream of harmony along the great river. Now let your mind wander to the heart of Meroë, a city where the sands hold secrets. Here, over 200 small pyramids rise from the earth, their shapes slender and steep, like whispers reaching for the sky. They are not the massive giants of Giza, but a delicate rhythmic skyline of stone, each one a silent sentinel of a lost civilization. The golden light plays across their surfaces, and if you listen closely, you can almost hear the soft murmur of a forgotten age, a lullaby carried on the desert wind. From these stones, a melody of language once flowed. The Kushites created their own writing, a script called Meroïtic, its graceful signs flowing like a river across pottery and temple walls. Some symbols echo the hieroglyphs of Egypt, but the language itself remains a quiet mystery, a song whose full meaning still drifts just beyond our grasp. Scholars study the inscriptions, gently piecing together the story, but the script holds its secrets close, a soft, unbroken dream from the past. In this society, great honor was given to the Kandakes, the queen mothers, whose strength and grace shaped the kingdom. These formidable women held immense power, often ruling in their own right, guiding their people with a steady and gentle hand. Picture them in the sunlight, adorned with elaborate royal jewelry that shimmered with every movement, their presence a calm and radiant force. They were the heart of the kingdom, a quiet, enduring power that nurtured and protected. And finally, let us rest at Napata, a sacred city nestled in the shadow of a great mountain. The Kushites called it Jebel Barkal, the pure mountain, and they believed it was the dwelling place of the god Amun himself. In this peaceful place, they would travel from far away, their footsteps a quiet pilgrimage across the sands. They came to offer prayers in the mountain's shadow, to feel the deep stillness of a land where the divine and the earthly met, a gentle, eternal sanctuary. In the heart of ancient Nubia, master craftsmen perfected the art of ironworking, transforming raw earth into shimmering tools and ornaments. Their hands moved with a quiet, practiced grace, shaping metal with fire and skill, as the forge glowed like a small sun in the darkness. This mastery allowed the kingdom to flourish, creating a lasting legacy that whispered across the vast African savanna. The tools they made tilled the soil and built homes, while the ornaments adorned the people with a gentle beauty. The glow of their forges seemed to dance like stars, a soft reminder of how human hands can turn the simple into the sublime, and how this craft echoed through time. The Nile River acted as a shimmering silver ribbon of life, transporting precious goods like gold, incense, and ebony from the lush interiors of Africa to the Mediterranean world. These gentle trade currents connected distant cultures, weaving a tapestry of shared wealth and artistic exchange. The river flowed softly, carrying not just materials but also ideas and dreams, binding people together in a quiet, enduring embrace. Along its banks, life thrived, and the water's murmur seemed to sing lullabies to the civilizations it nurtured. This liquid highway was a vein of the earth, pulsing with the rhythm of trade and the gentle flow of time, connecting hearts across vast distances. Kushite art is celebrated for its unique blend of styles, merging the structured elegance of Egyptian motifs with the flowing, natural forms of sub-Saharan African aesthetics. Their pottery, especially the fine-walled Meroïtic ware, is adorned with delicate paintings of plants and celestial symbols. Each piece seems to hold a quiet story, a reflection of a world where art and nature dance together in perfect harmony. The colors and shapes speak of a deep connection to the earth and the sky, as if the artists captured the very essence of the savanna and the stars. In these creations, we see a gentle fusion of two worlds, a testament to the beauty of cultural embrace. The landscape of ancient Nubia was dotted with lush gardens and sprawling reservoirs called hafir, which collected the soft rains of the season. These peaceful watering holes supported vibrant communities of cattle herders and farmers, creating green oases amidst the drifting sands. Life here moved to the rhythm of the water, a gentle pulse that sustained both body and spirit. The hafir were like mirrors reflecting the sky, bringing life to the arid land and offering a place for quiet reflection. Around these waters, children played and elders told stories, their voices mingling with the rustle of leaves and the distant lowing of cattle, all under the watchful gaze of the sun. Many Kushite homes were built from warm, sun-dried bricks that absorbed the heat of the day and released it slowly during the cool, starlit nights. These dwellings were often arranged in quiet clusters, where families gathered under the wide, open canopy of the African sky. The air was filled with a sense of peace, as the bricks held the memory of the sun long after it had set. In these homes, the day's warmth lingered, cradling the sleepers in a gentle, earthy embrace. The night breeze carried the scent of the savannah, and the stars seemed close enough to touch, wrapping the community in a blanket of tranquility. As you drift deeper into the quiet of this moment, let your mind wander back to a time when the Nile flowed like a ribbon of silver through golden sands. In that ancient world, a remarkable dynasty rose from the south, from the land of Nubia. The 25th dynasty brought forth the Black Pharaohs, majestic rulers who journeyed from the heart of Africa to embrace the whole Nile Valley. King Meroë was one such sovereign, a man of deep faith and vision. He did not conquer with fury but with a gentle resolve, weaving the rich traditions of Kush into the tapestry of Egyptian life. Under his reign, two cultures breathed as one, creating a golden age of harmony and mutual respect. Now let your thoughts float further south, to the sacred grounds of Napata and Meroë. There, the desert holds a secret forest of stone. The Kushites built hundreds of pyramids, more numerous than those in all of Egypt, yet they are slender and steep, as if reaching on tiptoe toward the heavens. These quiet monuments rise from the earth like ancient prayers frozen in time. For centuries they cradle the sleep of kings and queens, their smooth sides catching the last light of the setting sun. Each pyramid is a silent sentinel, a resting place where royalty could dream among the stars. From these sacred tombs, let your imagination glide to the bustling heart of Meroë, a city that seemed to float on the warm breath of the savannah. Here, the air shimmered with heat from countless furnaces, where master craftsmen worked iron with patient hands. They transformed raw ore into tools that tilled the soil and jewelry that adorned the noble. This mastery of metal was the lifeblood of the kingdom, forging not just objects, but a resilient and wealthy society. The clink of the hammer and the glow of the forge were the sounds of a civilization flourishing in harmony with the land. In this kingdom of strength and beauty, leadership often wore a gentle face. The Kushites were guided by the Kandakes, the queen mothers, whose authority was as vast as the desert sky. These powerful women held the scepter with a steady hand, their wisdom a calm harbor in times of change. They presided over the court not with harsh commands, but with a quiet dignity that ensured the stability of their people. A Kandake was a mother to the nation, her rule a soft yet unbreakable thread that wove through generations, protecting and nurturing the realm. And to preserve their legacy, the Kushites gave voice to stone in a script all their own. The Meroitic writing system blossomed from Egyptian hieroglyphs into a flowing cursive alphabet, like reeds bending in the river breeze. Today, many of its meanings remain a gentle mystery, a language half asleep, yet the inscriptions still whisper across the millennia, telling of ancient laws and royal decrees. They are the soft echoes of a proud people, inviting us to listen with our hearts as we drift deeper into the quiet embrace of history. The sacred mountain of Gebel Barkal rises from the Nubian landscape, its towering sandstone cliffs reaching toward the sky. For centuries, people believed this was the dwelling place of the god Amun, a holy home where the divine touched the earth. Pilgrims would travel across the vast desert, drawn by a quiet call, seeking solace and connection. The mountain provided a peaceful sanctuary, a place of deep stillness where the noise of the world faded away. Here, in the shadow of those ancient rocks, kings would come to receive divine visions, glimpses of their future whispered on the wind. It was a place of dreams where the boundary between the mortal and the sacred grew thin and soft. Trade routes stretched like silken threads from the Kingdom of Kush, reaching far to the Mediterranean Sea and deep into the heart of Africa. Along these paths, caravans carried treasures that shimmered and glowed. There was gold, bright and warm as the sun, fragrant incense that filled the air with sweet mystery, and exotic ebony, dark and smooth as the night. These goods wove the kingdom into the global fabric of the ancient world, connecting distant lands in a gentle web of exchange. The routes were more than just roads. They were lifelines of culture and commerce, flowing quietly across the sands, bringing the world to Kush and Kush to the world, a silent dance of connection. To sustain their lush gardens and golden fields, the Kushites engineered remarkable reservoirs called hafirs. These were crescent-shaped pools, carved gently into the earth, designed to catch the rain during the seasons of mist. When the skies opened, the hafirs would fill with water, becoming quiet mirrors that reflected the drifting clouds above. This stored water allowed life to bloom in the arid landscape, nurturing crops and flowers through the dry months. The hafirs were like gentle guardians, holding the promise of growth and abundance, ensuring the kingdom remained green and vibrant. They stood as a testament to the harmony between human ingenuity and the natural world. The art of the Kushite people often featured a serene blend of styles, creating images that felt both timeless and tender. Their figures were depicted with elegant, rounded forms, adorned with intricate jewelry that caught the light and sparkled softly. Pottery from this land was decorated with soft floral patterns, delicate designs inspired by the flowers that bloomed along the Nile. These creations reflected a deep appreciation for the natural beauty that surrounded them, a quiet celebration of life and growth. In every curve and every painted petal, you can sense the peace of a people who lived in harmony with their world, capturing moments of stillness and grace in clay and stone. As the sun set over the horizons of Nubia, the people lived in harmony with the rhythmic flooding of the river. The Nile would rise and fall in a gentle cycle, bringing water and rich soil to the land. This steady, peaceful abundance supported the kingdom for over 1,000 years, a testament to the deep connection between the people and their environment. The floods were not a threat, but a gift, a natural pulse that nourished the fields and gardens. In the quiet of the evening, as the water receded, the land would breathe and prepare for new growth, a cycle as old as time itself, cradling the kingdom in its gentle embrace. Still here, resting in the shadow of Gebel Barkal, the sacred mountain watches over you. Let the gentle rhythms of the kingdom carry you deeper into sleep. I'll continue the story. You just let go. Let us drift on the soft currents of time to a land where the golden desert meets the gentle river, a place of ancient whispers and quiet dreams. Here, in the heart of Nubia, a story unfolds like a lotus blooming in the moonlight, a story of ancient grace and quiet power. Imagine a time when the Nile flowed like a ribbon of silk, connecting two great lands. The Kushite kings journeyed northward with a quiet purpose, uniting the valley under one golden crown. These Black Pharaohs ruled from Napata, where the desert embraces the river. For nearly a century, they blended the wisdom of Egypt with the soul of Nubia, creating a culture that shimmered with grace. Their reign was a soft golden age of peace and beauty. Far to the south, in the ancient city of Meroë, the Kushites built slender pyramids reaching toward the stars. There are more pyramids here than in all of Egypt, standing like a silent forest of stone. As the sun sets, the sandstone glows with a warm light, and shadows stretch long across the quiet plains. It is a place of deep stillness, where the past whispers on the wind, and time itself seems to sleep. Within this kingdom lived remarkable women known as the Kandakes. They were queen mothers with great political and spiritual power, their voices carrying the weight of tradition and wisdom. Many ruled as sovereigns, guiding their people with a gentle but steady hand. Through long centuries of peace, these formidable women led the kingdom, their grace a steady flame in the heart of Nubia. Their wisdom guided the kingdom like a gentle star. The people of Kush were masters of fire and metal. Their ironworking was among the finest in Africa, and Meroë became a shimmering center of industry. The furnaces glowed with a gentle heat, steady and warm. From these flames came tools of great strength and jewelry of delicate beauty. These treasures traveled along the soft currents of the Nile, drifting like leaves on the water, spreading Nubian craftsmanship to distant lands. And then there is the script they left behind, called Meroitic. It is a beautiful, flowing script that replaced Egyptian hieroglyphs. Scholars can read the sounds, but the deeper meaning remains a quiet mystery, like a song half remembered in a dream. The poetry of this ancient language drifts through time, waiting patiently to be understood. It waits in the silence, a beautiful enigma. So let these images rest gently in your mind. The golden crown, the silent pyramids, the wise queens, the glowing furnaces, and the whispered words. All part of the great, quiet dream of Kush, floating on the soft currents of time, forever peaceful, forever still. Now, let your mind drift to the gentle tide of connection between Kush and Egypt, a soft current of cultural exchange that flowed across the desert. In grand temples that echoed with quiet chants, they worshipped the god Amun, his presence felt in the cool stone and the flicker of oil lamps. The Kushites held these ancient spiritual traditions close to their hearts, seeing themselves as the true protectors of a sacred flame. They preserved the old ways with a deep and tender devotion, like a lullaby passed down through countless generations, a quiet river of faith that never ran dry. Nestled in the shadow of Jebel Barkal, the royal city of Napata rested beneath a towering sandstone peak that seemed to touch the sky. This mountain was believed to be the dwelling place of the divine, a place where heaven and earth met in silent communion. Pilgrims would journey there in stillness, their footsteps soft on the ancient paths, their hearts open to the peaceful energy that rose from the ground. They felt a deep, quiet hum resonating through their souls, a gentle reminder of the sacredness of the world. It was a place of profound rest, where the mind could find clarity and the spirit could simply be. The Nubian archers were known across the ancient world, their land called the Land of the Bow for their remarkable skill. With steady hands and calm eyes, they moved through the golden savanna grasses like a soft breeze, barely stirring the air. Their arrows flew true, but their hearts were set on peace, guarding the borders of their tranquil kingdom with a quiet vigilance. They walked with a floating lightness, as if they were part of the landscape itself, their presence a gentle shield. Their reputation spread far and wide, a whisper of precision and grace that protected the land without ever raising a voice. Slowly, along the winding river, trade caravans carried treasures from the heart of Africa. Fragrant resins, shimmering gold, and exotic ebony made their patient way to the Mediterranean shores. These precious goods flowed like a gentle stream, weaving a rich tapestry of wealth and luxury through the royal courts. The air was filled with the scent of frankincense and myrrh, and the soft gleam of gold caught the light, creating an atmosphere of serene opulence. Each step of the journey was a meditation, a quiet exchange that connected distant lands in a web of peaceful abundance. The land of Kush itself was a lush oasis, a green jewel cradled by winding waterways. The Nile provided a constant, soothing rhythm, like a heartbeat for the kingdom, steady and reassuring. The people lived in harmony with the seasonal floods, watching the waters rise and fall with a gentle acceptance, knowing the river's moods as they knew their own. The air was filled with the scent of wet earth and blooming lotus, a fragrance of renewal and timeless tranquility. Life moved to the slow, steady pulse of the water, and in that gentle flow, the soul could find its rest. Let your thoughts become as soft as the desert wind and drift back to a time when the Nile Valley was a cradle of peace and unity. The 25th dynasty marked a golden era where the Kushite kings, often called the Black Pharaohs, ascended to rule over Egypt. They were not conquerors in the traditional sense, but gentle unifiers who blended the deep spiritual traditions of Nubia with the ancient wisdom of Egypt. Under their reign, the lands flourished, art and architecture blossomed, and a vast empire was woven together with threads of harmony and mutual respect. It was a time when the river carried not just water, but the shared dreams of two great peoples. From this unified kingdom, a new form of expression quietly emerged in the city of Meroë. The Kushites developed their own script, a beautiful and mysterious writing system that we now call Meroitic. It was a soft departure from the familiar Egyptian hieroglyphs, a homegrown alphabet that captured the unique voice of their culture. Today, it remains one of the ancient world's most intriguing puzzles, its symbols whispering secrets that we have yet to fully understand. Each character is a delicate mark of a people who valued knowledge and self-expression, leaving behind a legacy written in a language that still dreams of being fully awakened. Look out across the soft, rolling sands of modern Sudan, and you will see the most enduring legacy of this kingdom. The land is home to more pyramids than anywhere else on Earth, over 200 of them, resting like gentle waves on the horizon. These pyramids are not the towering giants of Giza, but smaller, steeper structures that create a soothing, rhythmic silhouette against the sky. They were built with a quiet dignity, their narrow bases and sharp angles reaching upward as if in a soft, eternal prayer. As the sun sets, their shadows stretch long and slow across the sand, painting a picture of timeless serenity. In the heart of this civilization, the city of Meroë glowed with the light of innovation. The Kushites were master ironworkers, and their forges turned the city into a center of ancient metallurgy. With skilled hands, they crafted shimmering tools and delicate jewelry, each piece a blend of strength and beauty. This craftsmanship was not for war but for peace, fueling trade networks that connected them to distant lands. The iron from Meroë was a quiet currency of connection, spreading their influence through artistry and commerce rather than conflict. The rhythmic clang of hammers was a lullaby of progress, and the glow of molten metal illuminated a society built on creativity and calm. And at the heart of this peaceful kingdom were the Kandakes, the queen mothers who held immense power and prestige. These formidable women often ruled in their own right, guiding the kingdom with a blend of wisdom and grace. They were the steady hands on the tiller of state, navigating through centuries of change with quiet strength. The Kandakes embodied the soul of Kush, a civilization where leadership was not just about might, but about nurturing and protecting. They sat on thrones of gold, but their true wealth was the love and respect of their people, a bond that time could never erode. Their legacy is a gentle reminder that true power can be as soft as a whisper and as enduring as the stars. Imagine yourself drifting along the gentle currents of the Nile, where the ancient kingdom of Kush once flourished. This land served as a vital bridge for trade, carrying gold and ivory and fragrant incense from the heart of Africa to the distant Mediterranean. The river flowed softly, connecting distant cultures through the quiet exchange of precious goods. Each barge that glided on the water whispered stories of prosperity and peace, a silent symphony of commerce. The warm breezes carried the scent of spices, blending with the rhythm of the water as the world moved in a slow, dreamy dance. The Nile was a ribbon of life, weaving through the desert, carrying the essence of Kush to faraway lands. The people of Kush deeply revered the lion-headed god Apetamak, a deity of strength and protection. His temples stood adorned with intricate carvings, each line a prayer etched in stone. The spiritual life of Kush was a beautiful blend, weaving local Nubian beliefs with the influences of Egypt. In the quiet sanctuaries, one could feel the gentle power of this god, watching over the land like a guardian. The air was thick with reverence, a soft hum of devotion that echoed through the ages. The carvings told stories of courage and grace, a testament to the deep faith of the people. Apetamak's presence was a comforting shield, a lion's roar softened into a whisper of protection. The architecture of the Nile Valley in Kush featured vast reservoirs called hafir, which captured the drifting rainwater. These peaceful pools allowed the kingdom to bloom in the arid landscape, supporting lush gardens and grazing herds. The water reflected the sky, creating a mirror of tranquility in the desert. Around these hafirs, life flourished in a gentle rhythm, a testament to the wisdom of the people. The soft lapping of water against the stone was a lullaby for the land, a soothing sound that echoed through the valleys. These reservoirs were like quiet hearts pumping life into the golden sands, nurturing a world of green and calm. Royal burials in Nubia often included beautifully crafted pottery and delicate jewelry made of faience. These treasures were placed gently beside the deceased, intended to provide comfort and elegance in the afterlife. The faience glowed with a soft, ethereal light, a promise of eternal beauty. Each piece was a quiet offering, a symbol of love and care that transcended time. The tombs were serene, filled with the gentle hope of a peaceful journey beyond. The pottery held the warmth of the sun, and the jewelry sparkled like stars, guiding the soul to a restful place. The landscape of ancient Kush was defined by the gentle curves of the Nile and the warm, golden hues of the desert. This serene environment provided a timeless backdrop for a civilization that valued harmony and artistry. The slow passage of history was etched into every dune and ripple, a peaceful canvas for their lives. The sun set softly over the horizon, painting the world in shades of amber and rose. It was a place where time itself seemed to drift, cradling the dreams of a people in tune with the earth. The desert winds whispered ancient secrets, and the river flowed like a gentle sigh, carrying the spirit of Kush through eternity. The Black Pharaohs of the 25th Dynasty once united the entire Nile Valley, a ribbon of life through the desert. Their peaceful influence stretched from the heart of Africa up to the shores of the Mediterranean Sea. Kings like the benevolent Pi viewed themselves as the true protectors of ancient traditions, softly restoring order across a vast and golden landscape. Feel the deep stillness of that time, the warm sands holding centuries of quiet wisdom. The land breathed gently, wrapped in a warm, golden peace. Temples rose again, their walls whispering old prayers. The Nile flowed calm and steady, a mirror for the sun. It was a time of gentle renewal, a soft hand on the pulse of history. In the ancient city of Meroë, the Kushites crafted an entirely unique script known as Meroitic. While it echoes the beauty of Egyptian hieroglyphs, this flowing alphabet remains one of the great quiet mysteries of history. Scholars are still drifting through the process of fully translating its secrets, like trying to read a whisper on the wind. The symbols curve and flow, holding stories we can almost touch, but not quite hear. They feel warm and familiar, yet their meaning stays just out of reach, a soft veil over the past. Each carved line is a breath from a forgotten voice, a gentle puzzle waiting in the stone. The script dances across temple walls, a silent song of a lost language. The Kingdom of Kush was home to some of the most skilled ironworkers in the ancient world, creating a shimmering industry that fueled their prosperity. This mastery of metal allowed them to craft delicate jewelry and sturdy tools, blending strength with a refined, artistic grace. Imagine the warm glow of the forge, the soft clink of metal being shaped, the deep satisfaction of creating something beautiful and lasting. Their work was a dance of fire and earth, a quiet testament to their skill. Each piece held a story, a touch of the artisan's soul. The iron seemed to hum with the energy of its making, a warm pulse in the hand. From the anvil rose objects of both utility and beauty, a harmony of form and function. The Candaces, or Candakes, were powerful queen mothers who ruled with wisdom and quiet strength. These formidable women were often depicted in art as commanding yet serene figures, steering the destiny of their people through diplomacy and steady leadership. Imagine their calm presence, a soft but unyielding force in a vast and ancient land. Their voices carried like a warm breeze, guiding without a shout, their eyes deep with knowledge. They were the still center of a turning world. Under their rule, the kingdom flourished in a gentle, enduring light. They nurtured their people like a garden, with patience and a tender hand. Their legacy is a soft echo of power, a whisper of matriarchal grace. While Egypt is famous for its pyramids, the region of Nubia actually contains more pyramids than Egypt itself. These slender, steep-sided monuments rise softly from the desert sands, serving as peaceful resting places for the royalty of Napata and Meroë. Picture them under a vast, star-filled sky, their shapes still and silent, holding deep dreams. The sand around them is warm, the air so still you can almost hear the past breathing. They are like quiet sentinels, watching over the endless desert. Each one a soft shadow against the horizon, a memory carved in stone. The moonlight caresses their slopes, and they seem to glow with an inner peace. they stand as gentle reminders of a kingdom that once touched the sky. The Kushites felt a profound spiritual bond with Amun, the ram-headed god of creation, a deity of deep, quiet power and ancient wisdom. They built grand, airy temples in the holy mountain of Jebel Barkal, where the sacred air wrapped around you, soft and still, like a gentle whisper from the divine. The silence there invited deep, quiet contemplation, a place where the divine seemed to breathe in the warm, golden light, and every stone held a story of faith, a timeless echo in the vast, serene space. The trade routes of Kush were like gentle ribbons, winding softly from the interior of Africa to the wider world, a slow, steady thread of connection through the warm earth. They carried fragrant incense that filled the air with sweetness, shimmering gold that caught the light like captured sunbeams, and exotic ebony, dark and smooth as the night sky. In this rhythmic flow, diverse cultures exchanged ideas, a quiet, steady pulse of commerce that linked hearts across the vast silent lands, a gentle dance of give and take. In Meroë, they built great reservoirs called hafirs, capturing the soft rainfall of the savanna in deep, earthen bowls that held the water like a precious secret. These vast, shimmering pools of water were like liquid jewels, cool and clear, allowing the kingdom to flourish in the arid plains. They created lush, green oases, vibrant with life, amidst the drifting, golden sands, a deep mirror reflecting the endless sky and bringing a sense of peace to the dry, warm earth, a quiet miracle in the stillness. The art of the Kushites was a harmonious blend, weaving together indigenous African styles and classical Egyptian elegance into a soft, visual song that spoke of unity. This gentle fusion is visible in their pottery, with delicate, hand-painted patterns of plants and stars, each stroke a quiet tribute to nature's beauty. These pieces reflected a world of natural beauty, quiet and deep, capturing the essence of the land in every soft curve and line, like a memory held in clay, a whisper of the past that still resonates. In the twilight of their empire, the people of Kush lived in dwellings crafted from warm, sun-dried mud bricks, shaped by hand and heart with care and simplicity. These homes kept the interior cool and dim, a quiet sanctuary from the golden warmth of the Nubian sun, where the light was muted and soft, like a gentle shadow. The walls held the stillness, a deep refuge where the air felt calm, a gentle embrace against the heat, and the outside world faded into a distant, golden dream, a place of rest and quiet peace.
Close your eyes and let the whispers of ancient Kush carry you away. Let the warm sands of Napata carry you back to the rise of the Black Pharaohs. Pi and Taharka, powerful Kushite kings, unified the Nile Valley with a gentle strength. They blended the deep traditions of their Nubian homeland with the ancient customs of Egypt, creating a peaceful golden age. Feel the soft stability of that era, still and vast, like a warm blanket over the land. The air was thick with the scent of incense, and the quiet hum of prosperity echoed through the temples. It was a time of deep harmony, where the river flowed with a steady, calming rhythm, and the people rested in the embrace of wise rulers. The Nile itself seemed to flow with a softer, more gentle current, reflecting the peace of the age.
Now, drift to the heart of the Nubian desert, where Meroë shimmered with a warm, soft glow. Ancient artisans crafted iron tools and jewelry, their furnaces mirroring the sun's gentle heat. The soft light of the fires danced on the sand, a quiet beacon of innovation. This city became a hub of trade, where caravans brought goods from distant lands, and the air hummed with the steady pulse of industry. Feel the warmth of the forges, the deep skill of the craftsmen, and the vast network of exchange that thrived in this still, desert oasis, a place of quiet prosperity. The desert winds carried the scent of metal and earth, a deep grounding aroma. See the steep, slender pyramids rising from the sand, so different from Giza's wide forms. Over 200 of these peaceful monuments drift toward the stars, soft resting places for royalty. They stand in still, deep silence, guardians of a forgotten time. The warm stone catches the last light of day, casting long shadows on the vast desert floor. Each pyramid is a quiet whisper of a life once lived, a gentle ascent to the heavens. Feel the peace of these ancient tombs, where the kings and queens sleep in eternal stillness, their spirits free in the soft night air. The stars above seem to lean closer, as if listening to the quiet stories of the past. The kingdom spoke in its own script, a cursive whisper on stone called Meroïtic. Scholars have deciphered the sounds, but the full meaning remains a gentle mystery. It floats in the deep silence of time, a soft secret held by the ages. Imagine the warm touch of the inscribed stone, the flowing lines of a language now still. The words are like a quiet song, their melody known but their story untold. This script is a vast, unopened book, resting in the soft embrace of history, waiting for a gentle hand to unlock its deep wisdom. It is a gentle reminder that some secrets are meant to be kept, soft and still. And feel the presence of the Kandakes, the Queen Mothers, with their deep spiritual authority. These noble women guided their people with a steady, calming hand, their wisdom a warm light. They were revered protectors, their strength soft yet vast, in a kingdom of enduring peace. Picture their gentle gaze, the quiet power in their voice as they led with compassion. The Kandakes were the heart of the kingdom, their love a deep, still river that nourished all. Rest in the warmth of their legacy, a soft, eternal embrace that still whispers through the ages. Their guidance was a soft, steady light in the vast darkness of uncertainty. Sleep now in the soft silence of these ancient truths. The Nile River, a shimmering ribbon of life, connected the lush grasslands of the south to the fertile delta of the north, its waters warm and still under the vast open sky. Trade ships drifted slowly along the current, carrying fragrant incense, gold and ebony between distant lands, their sails soft in the gentle breeze, the air thick with the scent of myrrh and the sound of lapping waves. This deep, silent pathway glistened like liquid gold, reflecting the soft light of the setting sun, a peaceful artery of ancient trade and life, a timeless flow of abundance and connection, a gentle, enduring heartbeat of the land. The Kushites deeply revered the lion-headed god Epetimak, a deity of strength and protection. His presence felt in the warm, still air of the sacred temples. These temples, nestled in the vast savanna, feature soft, intricate carvings of nature and wildlife, reflecting the kingdom's deep connection to the natural world. The stone walls were alive with delicate images of lions, birds, and swaying grasses, each carving a whisper of the divine, a silent testament to their reverence for the wild and the protective spirit of Epetimak, a god who watched over them with a gentle, fierce gaze, a guardian of the untamed earth. Gold was abundant in the Nubian hills, giving the region its name, as Nub is the ancient Egyptian word for gold, a word that feels warm and soft on the tongue. This precious metal was crafted into delicate, shimmering ornaments that caught the soft light of the African sun, adorning the people with a gentle, ethereal glow. The gold was deep and vast in its beauty, a treasure from the earth, shaped by patient hands into necklaces and bracelets that whispered of wealth and the still, enduring spirit of Nubia, a land where the very ground sparkled with promise, a quiet radiance that spoke of ancient riches. Ancient Nubian pottery is celebrated for its elegance, featuring thin walls and delicate, hand-painted swirls of flora and fauna. each vessel a soft whisper of art and utility. These vessels were crafted with a patient, steady hand, designed to hold water and grains in the quiet of the home, their surfaces smooth and cool to the touch. The painted swirls of leaves and animals seemed to dance in the dim, still light, a gentle reminder of the vast savannas and the deep connection to nature, bringing warmth and beauty to the simple rhythms of daily life, a quiet celebration of the natural world, a tender touch of creativity in every home. The landscape of ancient Kush was dotted with serene watering holes and vast savannas where elephants and giraffes wandered, their movements slow and graceful under the open sky. The rhythmic sounds of the wilderness provided a peaceful backdrop to the daily lives of the people living along the riverbanks, a soft symphony of rustling leaves and distant animal calls. The air was warm and still, filled with the gentle hum of insects and the deep, vast expanse of golden grass, a timeless sanctuary of natural harmony, where the earth and sky met in a quiet, endless embrace, a lullaby of the wild that soothed the soul. The 25th dynasty bloomed as a golden age when the Kushite kings, like a gentle tide from the south, drifted north to rule as the Black Pharaohs of Egypt, their sovereign hands blending the sacred traditions of the Nile Valley into a peaceful unification of two great lands, where the wisdom of Kush and the grandeur of Egypt intertwined like the roots of an ancient acacia tree, and King Meroë, a beacon of serene power, wove a tapestry of cultural harmony that saw the pyramids of Meroë whisper secrets to the temples of Thebes, their golden sands bearing witness to a reign that flowed as smoothly as the eternal Nile, a river of unity that carried the dreams of both kingdoms into a shared destiny, and the legacy of the Black Pharaohs endures like a star in the night sky. In the heart of the ancient city of Meroë, the Kushites birthed a unique writing system, the Meroitic script, an elegant language that replaced Egyptian hieroglyphs with its own mysterious symbols, dancing like shadows on the walls of temples and tombs, yet it remains a floating puzzle. A cryptic melody that modern linguists yearn to unlock, its secrets veiled in the mists of time, each character a silent guardian of a lost civilization's thoughts and dreams, waiting patiently for the day. Its voice will once again resonate through the corridors of history, a song of the past that echoes in the silence of the desert, each inscription a whisper from a world long gone. The Kingdom of Kush was celebrated across the ancient world for its vast reserves of gold, a treasure that flowed like a warm, shimmering river into their treasuries, its radiant glow fueling the construction of magnificent monuments that rose from the desert sands like golden dreams, and through extensive trade networks, this precious metal journeyed to distant lands, carrying with it the essence of Kushite splendor and enriching the kingdom with exotic goods and foreign wisdom, weaving a web of prosperity that glittered under the eternal African sun, a luminous thread connecting civilizations across the ancient world, a golden age that shone brightly in the annals of history. The royal women of Kush, known as the Kandakes or Queen Mothers, wielded immense power and guided the kingdom with a wisdom that flowed like a gentle stream, their formidable presence depicted in stone and gold as graceful guardians who oversaw the intricate dance of diplomacy and the sacred rhythms of spiritual life, their hands shaping the destiny of a civilization with the quiet strength of the Nile's current, and their legacy enduring as a luminous testament to the elegance and resilience of feminine leadership, where they stood as unwavering pillars of stability and grace amidst the shifting sands of time, their spirits forever watching over the land they loved, their wisdom a guiding light for generations. Kushite architects designed a distinctive style of steep-sided pyramids at Meroë, these elegant structures smaller and more slender than the colossal giants of Giza, their sandy-colored forms rising in quiet clusters that seemed to drift softly against the vast horizon of the Sudanese desert, their sharp angles cutting the sky like
In the heart of Africa, the Kushite ironworkers breathed life into the earth, coaxing strong tools and artistic treasures from glowing furnaces that still whisper of a sophisticated industry. Amun, the gentle ram with curved horns, was honored at Jebel Barkal, where a sacred mountain cradled a magnificent temple, a quiet gateway to the divine. Trade caravans drifted slowly through golden dunes, bearing exotic incense, ebony, and ivory, weaving peaceful connections that linked Kush to the wider Mediterranean world. The Nile, a shimmering ribbon of life, carried fertile silt to the banks, where the Kushites drifted their boats,
nurturing vibrant cities along its gentle current. Napata, a spiritual sanctuary, where kings were crowned in quiet ceremony, a place of peaceful reflection and ancestral honor that endured for centuries. And so, our journey through the Kingdom of Kush comes to a gentle close. Your mind has wandered through ancient furnaces and sacred temples, across golden dunes and along the life-giving Nile. Now it's time to let it all go. If these whispers of history have soothed your soul, a simple like would be a quiet gift. And if you subscribe, I'll be here to guide you into dreams whenever you need. Good night, sleep well, and remember, the echoes of the Black Pharaohs will always be here, waiting for your return. Rest now, everything is exactly as it should be.